Hi, welcome everybody to this webinar all around integration platform as a service. My name is Ruben, CEO and co-founder of Yenlo, and this webinar is co-hosted and presented by my colleague Dominique.
Thanks, Ruben. Hello, everyone. My name is Dominic Mulder, and within Yenlo, I'm responsible for everything with the Connect platform, the iPaaS service, building, managing, and supporting the whole platform for customers worldwide.
Thanks, Dominique. So this event is all about an integration platform as a service. And the first 20 minutes, I will explain what our vision is and how we see the world when it comes to a platform as a service. And the 30 minutes afterwards, Dominique will explain a little bit more about our own Connect platform, a managed integration platform as a service. But I can imagine you don't know who I am, and Dominique or Yenlo. So give me 2 minutes to explain to you briefly who or what is Yenlo, what's our background, and why are we having this webinar in the end. So first of all, Yenlo is a system integrator operating from each corner of the world, from Colombo, Sri Lanka, Europe, in Amsterdam, Brussels, Germany, Switzerland, and all the way to Seattle and Vancouver in North America. So we exist around 15 years, have a turnover of 32 million US dollar. And what we did in the past 15 years is we implemented API and integration solutions for our customers all over the world to realize their digital journey and their digital projects. So our world is all about API management, all about integration, all about identity and access management, and handling massive of events with event processing. So you can consider us as a full service provider, starting with solution architectures, business architectures, all the way to software development, training and certification programs, and of course 24/7 operational services. That's one of the reasons we have offices all around the world to support our customers in their digital journey 24/7 by a follow the sun approach. And last but not least, all the experience we got in the last 15 years all around integration, we put in one solution called Connect. And Connect is an integration platform as a service built on top of those two technology. So among our customers, we have hundreds of customers all over the world. We are specialized in the banking, financial, and the finance industry, the make industry, government, healthcare, education, and some retail and others. So just a couple of logos of customers across the globe who are realizing their digital journey together with integration platform as a service concepts. But before we go and dive into that in more detail, let's look at the challenges we consider we have ahead of us in 2022 and beyond. Because the world around us is changing rapidly. And to overcome challenges, you really first have to understand them, and then you can address them. So, while preparing this webinar, we thought, what are the 3 key elements or challenges that are going on in 2022. And I think that by far on number 1, we have an enormous shortage of skilled employees. So the digital journey we are all follow takes a lot of engineering capacity, takes a lot of knowledge to implement a lot of technology, which is most of the time very innovative. So I would like to call that the scarcity syndrome. And that's a syndrome whereby 65% in 2023 of the IT industry is unable to fulfill all open job positions. And why is this important? For the simple fact that we want to digitalize our processes, we want to expose our data, we want to interact with our partners, but without skilled employees, you are not able to. So the second challenge when speaking to those customers with the logos I just show you, it's all about boosting their digital transformation. And the reason behind that is they need to beat their competitors, or they need to be more efficient, they need to be agile, they need to cost budget. So boosting your digital transformation is one of the biggest challenge in 2023 for most of the enterprise around the globe to actually survive. And data is eating the world, we all know that, but APIs are the one who's feeding the data. So an API world and an API first approach is really mandatory and key for a successful digital transformation. And I think personally, what the third and last challenge of 2022, when I speak to IT managers, C-level and architects, is all about controlling your operational investments, your CapEx, and your operational expense. So it's all about budget, it's all about cost efficiency. So having this in mind, on one side, enormous drive to get digitalized, but along with the shortage of skilled engineers, skilled people, and in the realization or in the fact that you have to be cost effective, the real challenge is how are you going to address these as an enterprise? And in my opinion, the only way forward is to implement smart technology. So utilizing technology will bring you that with less personnel, you can be much more cost efficient and you can be faster. That's the second one, shorten your time to market. So when you spend too much time to implement all of this technology, that is a disaster in the end for your company. So the faster you are time to market, the faster you are able to deliver, the better and the more efficient you will be. So in our opinion, there's only one solution to overcome these challenges, and there's one way forward. And that is put a platform as a service concept inside your organization. For the simple reason that you don't need to have your own staff, your own bubble of skilled engineers. It's all done for you. You can focus yourself on your core business. Secondly, because it's done as a service, it's very cost effective. And last but not least, time to market is addressed out of the box. It's available at your fingertips. So a platform as a service, in our opinion, is one of the holy grails for 2022 to become a digital enterprise. Now the question arises, how do you choose the right platform as a service? Because, to be honest, among others, there are many out there. You can choose for one of the software vendors like Oracle or Salesforce or with Mule or Boomi, obviously, but you have to take notice what's important for your company, for your digital journey. And let me help you with that, because 5 or 6 years ago, we started with our integration platform as a service based on some four principles, which I think that counts for everybody. And the first of all, we think when you select an integration platform as a service, one key element is it should be customizable. And what I mean with that is that a shared environment where you are tied, you are bound to the boundaries of such a shared environment. So you are a tenant in a multi-tenant environment. It will limit your requirements, possibilities, how to implement them. So we think customization is one of the critical elements when choosing the right iPaaS. So it should be a private, customizable environment. And why private? Because probably you will process data, sensitive data, you will store customer information or financial information. And what you don't want is that by accident or by a security issue, your data is exposed. So a private customizable platform is key. Secondly, it should be complete. And by that I mean an integration platform as a service is not only about an API or an API manager. It's not only about microservices. It's not only about queuing. It's the combination of everything. It's the combination of a rock-solid API manager solution. It's the combination with an enterprise service bus, the combination of serverless computing, with Kafka, with identity management, but also all the government tools like monitoring, alerting, and logging. So a iPaaS solution should be complete with the best of breed product suite. Then the third one, if you select an iPaaS, is all about the governance. So having your platform as a service ready up and running doesn't mean that you are controlling it in the right way. There are many cookbooks and many ways to do it properly. But governance is more than that. What we mean with governance is how's your security implemented? How are your APIs protected? What about advanced security protection? What about support, people, updates, upgrades, audit trailing? All kinds of processes, which for sure there are tools available, but it should be integrated from scratch inside your integration platform as a service. And last but not least, if it costs millions and millions of dollars a year, then I don't think you're getting there, because I said earlier, cost optimization and controlling your capex and opex is key to be a successful digital company. So it should be affordable. So when we are talking to our customers and talk about which iPaaS solution is the best for them, we always consider those 4 building blocks, those 4 key elements to make the right decision for that particular customer situation. So what Yenlo did is we combined these 4 building blocks into Connext. And Connext is an integration platform as a service built on top of W2 open source technology. And let me dive into that for a moment. So our own Connext, which is an out-of-the-box, at-your-fingertips solution, is out-of-the-box, high available, out-of-the-box scalable, because we utilize all and each component from a cloud strategy. It's secure by default, so we believe in zero trust. We don't trust anybody, we don't trust any compute, we don't trust any technology. So everything is secured end-to-end. Obviously, it comes with 24/7 support, because each company around the world, in my opinion, is a 24/7 operated company. Because the simple fact that your customers can visit your website to place an order, or on WhatsApp, live chat, or order goods, and so on, means that your system should be up and running always 24/7. And Connext is a complete solution which is short time to market. We can deliver within just a matter of days. You have a full-blown integration platform up and running for you. And of course, flexibility or agility. And I think this is actually one of the most critical one when you talk about technology, because when you have a platform with a lot of technology which you cannot easily upgrade or replace by a best of breed approach, then you are not flexible anymore. Because there's one thing I know for sure. Today it's all about event messaging and probably Kafka, but tomorrow another technology which is faster and better will pop up, and you probably want to utilize it. So what we did is we took that in the methodology of our Connext platform to be flexible at all time. We can replace and swap components as you go. And then guaranteed quality. So when you start building up your API and integration solution, you want to make sure that your infrastructure, your middleware, your platform is consistent in the quality it promises. And to do so, we made a decision 100% is automated. No single step manual interference. It should be 100% automated. For the simple reason, when it is 100% automated, we can guarantee the outcome of each and any deployment and rollout. And that's that is where you as customers should rely on. And as mentioned, when we started Connext, we thought we must keep it as affordable as possible, because that's the only way how companies will be successful in the end. So all of these combined is our Connext platform, which Dominique will elaborate a little bit more on in the coming 30 minutes. So to wrap up, with our integration platform as a service built on top is 2 technology, what is the added value and what do we bring to the table in the end? It's one customer experience for all your integration and all your connectivity all the way to your backend systems. It's one and single place for all your security and policy enforcements. It's one place for all your monitoring and alerting. And last but not least, it's one single place for auditing and logging. So when you view at this on a holistic way and from an end customer perspective, these are the 4 business elements which you gain from our Connext platform as a service. So, Dominique, can you please elaborate a bit more how it was created and all the technical nitty-gritty details under the hood?
Yeah, thanks, Ruben. I would like to go into all the nitty-gritty details of the platform, but obviously we have only 1 hour left. Normally my talks about the platform last for 4 to 6 hours. If you really want to go into details, it can last for days. So let's limit to what could you as a customer expect from our Connext platform and the managed services surrounding the Connext platform. So I have some slides that show you a little bit detailed how we do the deployments, what kind of processes we follow, how we govern the platform, and what kind of tooling you can expect in the platform. So working at Yenlo, we have roughly 14, 15 years experience in the integration business. And for the last 6 years working with Yenlo, in Yenlo, everyone is an integration consultant, so everyone has experience doing the project with the customers. We always experience the same challenges in the operations. You know, you want to do an integration platform, or you want to do the integrations, you want to expose your APIs to the outside world. But to start the whole project, you will need a platform, an infrastructure to rely on. And the biggest challenge we every single time experience with our customers is human resources. Do you have people available? Do they have the time to set up the infrastructure? Do you have enough people on the networking level? Do you have enough people that has the experience with the products you want to use? Can and will they take the responsibility of your products? The moment they run can be challenging to keep them maintenance for the longer period. So the moment you choose your team and you choose your products, you want to go to the market. You have an initial setup of your products, because every integration product is like a Swiss Army knife. You can utilize it in any time, in any way you want, but you have to choose which tool you want to use for the job. That also means with the products by itself, there's a lot of configuration options and a lot of settings, different transport levels, those kind of things. You have to think about capacity. How much traffic do I expect to my platform? And how much servers do I need to buy? How much CPU power? How much memory do we need? And obviously, you need to deploy your whole stack. Every time when there's new servers coming in place, you update your cluster, you scale, you provision the products, you have to configure them again, deploy your artifacts on top of it. It can be a challenging thing. And the problem with these challenges is that every step you get further, the challenge gets bigger. Because let's say you have the team and you have the products configured and everything surrounding it, and you go live. The products have to be in operation. You need to do security updates. You have to care about backups and recovery. You have to do access control. Who can access your integration layer? Who can access your data? You have to connect to all the integration partners. It can be a remote and public interface. It can be an on-site and on-premises application you want to integrate with. So all this connectivity need to be handled for you. And now you're all running, you're fully operated, you're supported, you're making your backups. And all of a sudden your platform is being a big success. And you have to think about scaling and how to handle large amounts of traffic and those kind of things. So then you get topics like growth planning and how to do failover, maybe even failovers over multiple regions or multiple data centers. What about disaster recovery? What if your data center explodes? Let's hope it never happens, but you might consider it in your availability plan. So all those 4 challenges is what we with the team try to solve with the Connect platform. And we did it by separating several layers. And the base foundation of the whole platform is the processes that run the whole platform. Ruben already said we do fully automated deployments, from creating the AWS account or Azure account, setting up the networking, the network resources, deploying the virtual machines, bootstrapping the virtual machines. That's all in the cloud infrastructure layer. Then you have a network at service. You want to provision the middleware applications. You want to make them cluster aware. You want to make them high available. You want to have a configuration applied to it so that you can actually start using it. And until there, we figured out how to do this in a standardized way so that we can scale for multiple customers at once. For us, it doesn't matter if you want to have 1, 2, or 20 environments. It's just a number. We press a button, it will be deployed, and it's always standardized. That allows us to constantly test and quality control every version of the platform we create. It also allows us to test the performance of the platform in a generic way. And before we bring you a new version into your platform, and I will show you a little bit more how the version management works in a later slide, every time we bring it to you, we can actually tell you this will be the impact on your applications and on your service you're running on top of the platform. So the next layer is the customizations. We created a basic configuration. From experience, we can tell 90% of our customers will use this specific configuration. You have a wide perspective of protocols you can use, ports you can configure, APIs and access control levels. So it's a basic configuration. But of course, you might want to use that specific transport, or you want to use a specific user store you already use, or you have a SaaS service that actually handles your access control. So you might want to have all these additional product customizations. We allow them. As long as we can integrate them into our automated pipelines, and the capabilities go really far. Some examples you will see later, but we allow custom configurations on top of the generic platform. So once all the products are running and are provisioned, you have a project, integration services, APIs, CAM implementations, identity and access management solutions, everything you can think of you want to do on an integration platform. That's an artifact, that's a deliverable you can deploy on top of your platform, and that actually makes it your platform that represents your use case. So looking at the deployments, we are always choosing the best tools for the job. Obviously, with the experience we have a strong preference for Doubles-2 integration products because they're simply well-performing, really stable, well-supported. By default, we offer our customers 3 environments. So let's say development, a test, and a production environment, but we can name them in any way you like, and it can be 1 or 10 environments. It's all free. Every environment is consisting out of an API management solution, an IAM solution, an identity provider that also acts as key management and authorization service for your API manager. There's an ESB, enterprise integrator in this situation, and of course, ActiveMQ for a queuing solution. In each account, there's a dedicated database for that specific account. So it's private in the sense of that even the data within your test environment will never touch the data in your production environment, and other way around. There's no network route between different environments, so everything is completely isolated. There's a shared storage component that makes sure that we can seamlessly scale up the instances of, for instance, an ESB. So if you have at any given time a requirement of having more cluster members so that you can handle more traffic, all the artifacts are nicely deployed over across all these nodes. We add some additional agents to the instances that are responsible for transferring the data, the monitoring data, to the monitoring stack, and the solution we chose for that is an elastic stack. So that means you have a cluster of Elasticsearch nodes with a Kibana dashboard interface on top of it, which we completely pre-configure for all monitoring purposes you can have. On top of that, you want to have a method of implementing your your own team's CI/CD strategies, or you can adopt one of us. We have available in our library of deployment jobs. So we provide the Jenkins instance customary to all our customers. So you can imagine with these components, we can create different flavors of the Connect platform. You can select only an API management solution, or only an integration solution, or only an IAM solution, or combine them all together in what we call an integration agile platform. All the tools you can ever need to actually build your integration solution. But it's not limited to this. In the past years, we have been building customizations on top of the platform. So you can think of WSO2's open banking solution, helping banks to become PSD2 compliant really fast. HL7 implementations for open healthcare solutions. We have customers asking us to help us with broader message broking systems like Kafka, or business process systems like Camunda. We can all extend those kind of toolings on top of or underneath the platform based on the requirements. And we keep extending it. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits. Every time we improve or we change something to the platform, it gets available for multiple customers. And by that, we constantly keep growing the platform. That's the interesting challenge, because every time we improve something, or every time there's a security update or a patch or whatever available, we want to push it to all our customers without having impact to their operations. And the only way we can do it is having a really, really, really strict version control system. We have a development team working on the platform. They use a XYZ versioning scheme, and the first number is always the platform version. And as long as you stay within the platform version, we guarantee as an operational team that there will, for every single update we provide, never ever be impact on your operations. There will be no downtime if you update. The development team works in an agile methodology, providing quarterly releases. Requests for features comes from our product management board, or from our customers, of course, or from our operational support team. They all gives us the feedback every 2 weeks. What does our customer need? What does we think is an added value feature to the platform? So we keep developing everything underneath in the source code of the platform. We do a quarterly release, which is the release version of the platform. And within the quarterly release, you will always have the latest and greatest updates for your WSO2 products, for the AWS services we use, for the Elastic services we use. All the dashboards are updated, and we can deploy them by testing it before we actually bring it to the customer. So on top of that, you have the customer configurations. So for specific integration scenarios, you might need some customizations on infrastructure level, or you might need some additional storage, or you might need a specific port open to your firewall. Those kind of additional configurations we add to the build version of the platform. So that's your customer build version we apply on top of the standardized platform. So everything we add to that automated pipeline, everything that's being released for you, that always includes an automated test, so that we can first test the infrastructure, then we can test the platform, and on top of that, we can test your custom configurations. And same thing we apply on the artifacts. So all your integrations or all the use cases you develop with a project team are handed over to our support team, and we make an automated process out of it to deploy it, to test it, and to make sure that everything is working and meeting your acceptance criteria. For our managed customers, that also hands over the management of the implementation of the use cases to our support team. We have a quality gateway that actually does a automated code review, looking for did you use the best practices? We can provide you for feedback to train your development team. And we report back all the recommendations our team has based on the experience of all the customers, how to most efficiently run your integrations on your platform. So by that, having separated version control for the platform for your custom configuration and artifacts, having automated deployment pipelines that prevents human error, and having test cases that represent your acceptance criteria, we can always guarantee that whatever we're deploying, we can test it before we bring it to a production system. So looking at the actual process, how it would work, is our development team releases a new version of the platform and hands over the release notes, which includes a capacity test, a functional test of the product, a integration test of the platform, and hands it over to the support team. We now have version 2.3 available for all our customers. That means they can forward, actively approach our customers. We have a new version. These are the release notes. These are the test results. Do you want us to upgrade your environment? So in this example, I have a customer that has a test QA in a production environment. And if the customer says, yes, please give me the version 2.3 because it's awesome, we simply start running these automated pipelines. So first the platform is being updated, then your customer configuration is being applied, tests are being applied. In the last step, all your artifacts are being deployed. We run the automated test and we provide you the feedback. Hey, we did your customizations, we run your integrations, we tested your systems. Everything's clear. Do you want us to proceed the same way to your QA and even later to your production environment? So with that, you have a very controlled way of upgrading and patching your systems without any downtime. It's all blue-green deployment, so only instances that are taken out of the traffic after we tested everything. So looking at release management for your integration projects, in this example, I have a manual deployment from a development team, and the development team can be your own internal development team. That can be a hybrid team based out of your own team and some of the consultants from Yenlo, or a completely dedicated project team we provide to help you implement those business use cases. So they have deliverables, which is basically the source code. That's some instructions, what to deploy, what kind of customizations would this need, and an automated test, of course. And if the test is not automated, we can make it automated for you. So that's all handed over to the support team. They run it through the quality gate, and assuming there are no prior 1 or prior 2 reporting issues to report, we simply bring it into your first development or test environment. And that's where you can start testing and doing your user acceptance tests or your third-party integration tests before you actually bring it to your production system. So now everything is running and you want to make sure that you always know what's going on in your system. I already told we have an elastic stack on top of your platform. It's a dedicated stack, only monitoring your and processing your data. It sends data based on infrastructure level, so the resource utilization, the network load on your platform, and those kind of things. It monitors the middleware applications. Are they available? Do they respond fast? It even has certificate management for your SSL certificates built in. It visualizes the build jobs, Jenkins does, to show you if it's successful, if your test was successful, and those kind of additional things. We provide out-of-the-box dashboards for API management, for Enterprise Integrator, and for Identity Server. So there are out-of-the-box dashboards that shows you the API usage, so which application is most commonly using which API. We have a really cool heat map for that one. You can see which user is using your Identity Server, logging in with your systems frequently, but you can also see which integrations might fail once in a while. Obviously, since all the data is being transferred to Elastic, you can also build on top of this. We give you the full admin rights to the Kibana dashboard, or you can have us handle it if you have a fully managed subscription, and implement your own business monitoring. So you're fully allowed to build your own dashboards. You're shipping additional data that gives you a dashboard if all the invoices are paid, or the dashboard if all your backend systems are up. So it's all extendable and customizable. And that's basically the reason we chose for an Elastic Stack, because we strongly believe that the query language Elastic use is quite easy to learn. There's a lot of documentation and training material available. So it's all about enablement of our customers and users of the platform. So looking a little bit from a more technical perspective, how would that work? We have the Elastic Stack on top, and looking at the different layers, we have the AWS infrastructure, we have the middleware layer, and the artifacts layer. And we run several agents within the platform that ship, for instance, on infrastructure level, the metrics of the CPU usage, the storage usage, your network load. You ship it to Elasticsearch, and Kibana shows you a dashboard. All log files are being shipped into with FileBeat to Elasticsearch also. And a very, very much asked question is, can I please have a centralized log viewer? Yes, you can. We have a centralized log viewer in Kibana, which easily allows you to filter or visualize live log views of all the products of your enterprise integrator, or you can filter only on your production system, or you can filter only on your identity server use case. So all of that's there out of the box. On top of that, we have Heartbeat, which is an agent that basically pings endpoints. It has a little bit more logic, so we can do more advanced monitoring other than only seeing the availability of the instance. But it allows you to visualize, is my endpoint reachable? Is my certificate still valid? If I send a request to the API, do I get the expected outcome? And if everything is successful, the lights are green. If anything is not successful within certain metrics, it will give you a red light. The Kibana dashboard also allows you to directly integrate with alerts. So let's say your uptime monitor gives you a red dot. Something is wrong somewhere. You can have it create an automated ticket in Jira Service Management or ServiceNow. You can have it send emails, SMS, text messages, those kind of things, just to make sure that on the operation side or the functional business side of your integration platform, everyone is aware of what's going on. That also allows us to have really fast response times on our SLA, because the moment anything is being monitored that's being unavailable or that is not acting as we expect, directly a ticket is being created and 24/7 support team, incident response team will reply on it or will act on it. Little example of one of the dashboards. This is an API statistics dashboard, shows you the total amount of API calls, the API calls over time, the heat map in the middle, which application is using which API most frequently. It shows you which users are using APIs more frequently. And the cool thing about Kibana is you can click on anything and then the whole dashboard will be filtered based on that. So it's very flexible, it's customizable, and it gives you all the statistics and tools you need to actually know what's going on your platform. The service levels we provide. I already said the word managed customer a few times, and we separate our services based on this diagram. The integration platform by itself is always 24/7 managed as being a platform as a service. So we have a team spread over the world, always actively monitoring your systems and actively responding to incidents either reported by you or reported by the automated alerting system. In the constantly improving platform versions we also constantly improve risk mitigation. So over time, we learn the behavior of the various products, and we know and we can kind of predict if certain scenarios happen, we might need to terminate one of the instances in the cluster and bring up a new one, or restart an instance, or redeploy. So we have auto-healing processes created. But it's good to know there's always a real person waiting to react if something happens. And that doesn't matter in which time zone you are, because we're 24/7 available. The managed services team, the operational support team, is also responsible for handing you over and providing you the software upgrades and platform updates. They're helping you test everything. And basically, they are your day-to-day counterpart to help you run and operate your integration platform. On top of that, we have the client use cases, and we have two flavors, the self-managed or the fully managed customers. In case of the managed customers, we also extend the responsibility and incident response on your artifacts to our operational support team. So that means we will be actively monitoring your integrations, your integration endpoints, the performance of those integrations, and we'll act on it based on agreements we make when we onboard the service. But of course, it's also possible just to get the Connects platform, we hand over the keys, which is basically the admin password to the various interfaces. And you can simply start building and developing your own integration, deploying them as you like, and only have the backup of the operational support team if you really need it. You have a more experienced team. You have a third flavor we call integration as a service. That's basically a shared integration platform on which you only get the integration by itself. So the platform is not private, it's just an integration as a service, which is out of scope of a iPaaS solution, of course. So the way we provide this is with having several teams within Connects. The lower three parts are basically the Connects managed services team. So all the way below, we have a development team, and they're responsible for gathering requirements, improving the platform, testing the platform, and providing all the tools for the ops team and for the customers to have a stable, rock-solid solution where everything can be automated. So the tests and the implementations are always built by a dedicated development team. On top of that, we have the operations team. That's basically your day-to-day point of contact. In case of incidents, 24/7 response time. We have really strict SLAs in the highest level. We even have 15 minutes response time on prior one incidents. So we guarantee that within 15 minutes, we are working on a solution and we redeploy the instance and it will be back available. We can always automatically roll back to the last known working state, so we can actually provide that service. Operations team is responsible for release and deployment of release and deployment management and version controlling all these levels of source code. They gather the customer feedback based on what can we do better, what can we improve, what should we add to the platform, and those kind of things. In the middle, you see the DevOps team, which is basically in the middle of the platform operations and the development team. So those are the specialists, the solution architects that can help you solve all the challenges you can figure out. So you're trying to do an implementation of platform, but you're missing certain tools, or you're missing certain configuration options, or you simply want to have a shortcut and don't want to think about or trial and error. You would just want to have the solution. In this team, you have the experienced ninjas that can help you with basically everything. In that DevOps team, we also, for every customer, appoint a tech lead. And that's basically a support engineer that's aware of your use case, that actually understands your business and is not only looking at metrics. So if you want to implement a specific integration, he will understand the business and where it's coming from and what kind of applications you're using, the parties involved in your organization. So we think it's really valuable to understand your requirements before we bring it to a technical solution. So the operations team with the incident response is always backed up with a dedicated tech lead for our managed customers. Also, all the artifacts are being handed over from a project team, and I explicitly say a project team, are being reviewed, code reviewed by the DevOps team, tested by the DevOps team, and if you only have manual tests, we create the manual tests or create the automated tests based on those use cases. So all the way on the top, I've been drawing the project team, and the project team is, like I said, it can be your own development team, it can be a hybrid team, it can be a consultancy team from Yenlo, with or without project management. But simply, if you need help building your project, go fast to market, we can allocate a specific team building all the use cases on top of your integration platform. And the last box is colored orange too, just like the operation team responsibilities, because all the deliverables are to be handed over to the ops team. So that's a joint combination. And it's also to mark that on top of the automated pipelines and CI/CD systems we have for the artifacts, we also have the option to adopt the CI/CD process you already have on the platform. So that's basically what I wanted to tell you guys and girls during this webinar. Obviously, there's a whole lot more to tell. I got a huge slide deck, I got some demos, and I'm really, really happy to show you all the nitty-gritty details in a private session. When you got more time, when you got specific questions, it's always possible. And I'm quite curious, Ruben, do you think we have any questions from the audience so far?
Yes, Dominic, first of all, great story. And, I love the Connect platform, but most of all, what I learned in your 30 minutes, that actually you addressed each of those 4 boxes, like customizations, it's affordable, it's flexible. So I like to see that all the ingredients of a successful iPaaS are there. Actually, we have a crack. Yes, the recording will be shared. So one of my team members will approach you, or she will let you know how to get the recording or the slide deck indeed. So feel free to use it and share it as much as possible, and otherwise you can reach out to us. So maybe other questions. I see a question coming. What's the average time to market? Great question.
Maybe I can brag a little bit about that.
Yeah,
because
please
I
go
think,
ahead.
yeah, I think that's really the coolest part of the Connect platform. Actually, to go live with a standard version of the platform, so having the full integration agile stack, it shouldn't take more than 1 day. The only challenge we have is aligning the connectivity to your backend system. So we want to have the VPN connection. There's always some manual line to the networking team or your remote networking team. But from a deployment perspective, the only thing we want to know is how many environments you want, what kind of product configurations you want, and we push the button.
So that's rather fast. If there are no questions left, please reach out to yenlo.com or through email, and we are more than willing to show you iPaaS selection criteria or connects in more detail. We will have another event in 2 days, so if you want to see the show once more, you're more than welcome to join coming Thursday. For now, thank you so much, and let's keep in contact.